Well, we're currently in Illinois. I'm in a truck stop. I actually pulled in for the night because of thunder lightning, which doesn't. I can handle the thunder and lightning. We had hail, heavy rain, which I still handle, but the high winds were getting really, really bad. So don't like winds with a high-sided vehicle. It's very easy to get blown over. So pulled in, and anyway, it's only 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock in the evening. It's we're just in the early August, so it should actually be broad daylight here. And I know cameras tend to lighten things up, but there's the lightning. The light we're getting right now is from the lights around the truck stop. I'm in a Lowe's, as you can see by the signage. But yeah, it's pitch black. It's like nighttime here. It's crazy. We had hailstone. My truck was getting hit by hail earlier on. But as I say, one thing that does always bother me, look at it, it's coming down in sheets here, the rain. One thing that always does bother me about in storms is the wind. I can handle everything else, like I said. This is a crazy storm. Crazy. Apparently it's been like this in the Chicago, Illinois area all week. But this is just wicked. That was a close one. Like I say, it should be daylight right now. It should be broad daylight. And here we are, it's pitch black. That's the amount of rain that's coming down the windshield. When I first pulled in, well, before I hit the storm tonight, it was 96 degrees, and it's dropped down, as you can see there, to 71. That's a 25 degree drop in an hour or so. It's kind of a shame the way the phone lights up an area to make it look brighter, because you just can't get over how black it is right now in what should be daylight. But my trusty Volvo got me here. Great little truck, just picked up a load. Actually did a 350 mile bobtail from Memphis to Edwardsville, Illinois. And the load itself is only going 275 miles. But I believe it's a high value load, so I'm sure they're making money from it. I work for a very successful company. Yeah, that's some lightning there. Thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening indeed. I'm so glad I pulled in early and got a spot. And actually, the fact that it's 7 o'clock and there's still a couple of open spots in the Lowe's, especially being close to a major city, is quite impressive, because normally after 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock, you start to struggle to find anywhere to park. I know certainly in Lowe's in, like, say, Orlando, for instance, 7 o'clock, pull up there, you can forget about it. Forget about it. So yeah, I'm parked up for the night, heading to Chicago, well, just south of Chicago. Drop my load off, and hopefully I'll be heading west. So long since I've been over west to California, and I went on Craft Dedicated with Stevens, and they just had me run the northeast, and the furthest I would get westwards was Texas, and with nights it's pretty much been the same as well. Not really doing the northeast, just kind of doing southeast regional, it seems to be, though I am still classed as an over-the-road driver. And I'd love to get over to the west coast before the winter hits. I don't really want to be on 80 or 90 or 70 even come December, because I don't want to be spending 5 and 6 days stuck in a truck stop, snowed in again. So I'm quite happy to do Southeast Regional during the winter, but in the summer it's nice to stretch your legs and get yourself out a little bit. Though I did cross one of the last 3 states off my list earlier on, later last month, which was Wisconsin. So that was good. So all I've got left to do now for the lower 48 is North Dakota and Vermont. Though I think I've done Vermont, but my wife argues vociferously that I haven't, and she's cleverer than I am, so I'll take her word for it. I saw a guy running back from the truck stop with his McDonald's and a t-shirt about a couple of minutes before I started this video. He probably got soaked to the skin. You stand out in that right now and you will be soaked to the skin within seconds. It is absolutely chucking it down. Wind's dropping a little bit. The winds are not as bad and we don't have the hail, but this is quite the storm. I'm just amazed that it is, well, it still should be broad daylight. They always just drove straight into the spot there. I guess here, backing into a spot takes too much skill for that guy, so he drove into it. Saying that, I backed into this spot during the storm and I had to do it with my windows shut. You know, I like to drive with my window open, sticking my head out when I've got it at an angle, and then when it starts to straighten up I use my rear view mirror. But there was no way, when I came here it was as bad as this rain wise, and there was no way I was going to drop that window. No way in a million years. So it's kind of awkward. I managed it. I'm a little bit tight to the line on the left there, but other than that, I you know, just kind of weird. I like to stick my head out the window. Wow, look at that storm. That's just crazy. I did hear that they've been having storms like this all week in the Chicago area. I don't know if I'm repeating myself, I probably am. And there's actually a tornado in Wisconsin, I heard, which, look at that rain, it's just chucking down. But driving for night, I'm enjoying it. I mean, yeah, they treat you like a human being, which is great because that's exactly what I am. They do treat you with respect. That's the main thing. And you know, the pay's pretty good. Mileage is good. You still get screwed over by shippers and receivers with wait times, but there's nothing Nike can do about that. I'm loving having terminals all over the, well, not all, I haven't been all over the country, but the areas I go to, it's great. Went to Memphis, didn't have to deal with the shitty truck stops in Memphis. We have a terminal there, drove in, it's a secure facility, electronic gates, you know, the laundry, free showers, there's vending machines, there's food, there's free coffee. Go to Atlanta, the same. You know, you need a tyre, somebody to look at your tyre, you just pull up there, pull up to the service bays. Oh, it's fantastic. You know, Stevens wasn't a bad company, but they only had one terminal, and that was in Dallas. And you never really wanted to go there because when you went in, you got a sheet of things you needed to do before they would allow you to leave. And honestly, you could, until you had everything ticked off on that sheet, you could not check out at the gate. They wouldn't issue you with a gate pass. So you were a prisoner basically. So you never wanted to go there because you could never get out. And it was only one place in the whole of the country, you know, Dallas, and for a company that was based in Dallas, we had very few loads coming out of there. So, you know, you never got to take your truck into our service base. You're always relying on Loves and TA and Petro, Flying J, and you know they're pretty crappy. You know, they really are probably minimum wage, talentless people who service your vehicles in these places. They're not proper mechanics or fitters or anything like that. So we've got terminals now, and you know, I can go in there. You're not a prisoner. You can come in when you want. You can leave when you want, and just pull up to the bay. You never wait more than 10 minutes before somebody comes out and, you know, asks you what's going on, and usually they'll take care of it there and then. You may have to wait. Just depends on the area. I know some terminals are worse than others, but you know, I went yesterday with 3 issues with my truck and trailer to the Memphis terminal, and the guys took care of all of them. They were great, fantastic. And it wasn't like 6-7 hours wait, and you didn't have to worry about a parking space if they took too long because you were in the terminal. There's loads of parking. It's great. So I'm enjoying it. I really am enjoying working for Knights. I really do wish that I'd get to see more of the country, especially in the summer. But good company to work for, and I would recommend them. And I love my Volvo. Great truck. Said in previous videos, I've driven, that was great English, I've driven T680s, Peterbilts and Freightliner Cascadia and an International. Volvo's by far the better ride. You know, that's my truck of choice now. If Knight said to me, and have any truck you want, I would probably take the Volvo. And then after that, probably the T680, and then the Freightliner. And well, T680, Freightliner, possibly Peterbilt, and then the International would be my last choice of the popular trucks. Now, I'm not a big fan of these classic long nose trucks, basically because their cabs are small. It's form over function. You know, they look great. The classic trucks, they look awesome. You know, they're very retro, lots of chrome lights and all that. They really do look cool and aggressive. But I've got to live in this thing, and I don't care about those things when I have to live in it. I want something that's big, lots of cupboard space, lots of room to move about, lots of storage areas. So, yeah, I wouldn't take one of the long nosed ones, not at all. Is this guy leaving? If he's leaving, then I've got to worry about somebody parking next to me. I was hoping that he was there for the night, and then I've got a guy at the other side who is there for the night because all his curtains are shut and he got here before I did. I always try and park in a spot with vehicles both sides of me, so I know I'm covered for the rest of the night. And like I said earlier, I'm a little bit tight to the left-hand line, and I should really kind of straighten it up a little bit and get it between the two yellow lines, but with the weather and everything, I just can't be arsed. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's me, Alan, BGB Studio, and all I can say is have a good night. Thanks for listening. Beautiful storm. Still supposed to be daylight, but never mind.